Good morning and welcome to episode 104 of the Giddy Knits podcast. As always, I am Helen and I am coming to you from Dundee in Scotland, where I live with my husband Tom and my two boys, Arthur, who is 7, and Jasper, who is 5. For anyone that is new and doesn't know who I am the dyer behind Giddy Yarns, and this is my crafty podcast where I talk about whatever projects I've been working on and all the crafting stuff that's going on in my life at the moment. Welcome back. Welcome back to anyone that's new and checking out my channel for the first time. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy what you see. And thank you to all my regular viewers who watch regularly. It's always nice to know that you're coming back and watching all the videos that I put out there. If you've been following along last week, you'll have seen that I did another week in something vlog. So basically my week in November vlog, a week in vlogs, that's what we're calling it. My week in vlogs series are just little kind of, each month I'm planning to do them, apart from months where I'm doing daily vlog series. So each month I'm planning to do them, and it just basically, it's usually a Monday through Friday daily vlogs of just kind of what's going on, a bit of behind the scenes of me working, a bit of behind the scenes of life stuff as well, and just a daily day in the life kind of vlogs for a Monday to Friday. And I aim to do one of those each month throughout the year. So far on my channel, you'll find a week in September, a week in October, and a week in November. December, I won't be doing any week in vlogs because December will be Vlogmas. So I will be doing daily vlogs throughout December. But the weekend vlogs will be returning back in January. And basically, they tend to be kind of 15-minute, somewhere between 15-20 minute daily vlogs of just what I'm up to, something like that. So if you've watched them, then thank you very much. But we're back with a normal podcast episode today. And I've got a little announcement section to share with you. I've got some works in progress to talk about. I've not got a lot of progress to share in terms of knitting this week, but I do have a little extra something that I want to share with you. I was going to talk a little bit about my plans again for Advent, because, we're all planning our Advent projects. I was going to talk a little bit about a new camera that I have purchased. I'm not recording on my new camera at the moment, but I do have it set up recording next to me. Not quite, it's definitely not a flattering angle, but just so that I can have a little play. Anyway, I'll talk about that all a little bit later on. And then I thought as well, I would talk a little bit about some knitting plans that I made in 2021 that completely fell through, and plans that I'm kind of thinking of doing for 2022. And I've got some yarn to show you that relates to all of that. And then I'll finish off with a little bit of shop news, as I always do. So let's start with some announcements, I guess. I'm also going to be sipping on a cup of tea, because it's a Monday morning and Monday mornings are always chaotic, and I've done the school run and I need some more caffeine. Okay, so announcements first of all. Make-alongs. We have got, as always, the Giddy Yarns Make-along, which is my ongoing make-along that I run throughout the year, every year so far. I think it's been running for a good 2 years now, and I draw quarterly prizes. So any project that you finish that uses at least 50% of my yarn, you can enter in our 3 entry places. So you can enter it on Instagram, you can enter it in our Mighty Networks group, and you can also enter it in the Ravelry group. And each quarter I do a random number generator to draw winners from the current quarter, and you get a prize, a Giddy Yarns prize. Just kind of as a little thank you back to all my lovely customers who've been purchasing my yarn and knitting with my yarn. You don't have to have purchased my yarn. You can absolutely have been gifted my yarn. That's perfectly fine as well. I'm on a twirly chair and I just kind of want to keep spinning on it today. I need to stop. So talking of prize winners, I'm still waiting to hear from some of the prize winners from the Halloween make-along. So if you've not checked out episode 102 and you entered the Halloween make-along, then pop on over there, because I announced all the prize winners on that video. In fact, maybe I can try and be clever. I can't remember which side of the screen it goes, but maybe I can try and be clever and pop one of those little cards up that links you to specifically to that video. Yeah, if you've won a prize, get in touch with me. Email, Ravelry message, Instagram message, any of those would be brilliant, and I'll get your prizes out to you as soon as I can. Right, shall we actually talk about some knitting? I should have muted my notifications. One of the perils of recording on my phone, which is also one of the reasons I'm hoping to swap to a new camera, which I will again talk about later on, is that I always forget to turn off notifications. So while I'm recording, I end up with like notifications popping up on the screen, distracting me. Knitting, let's talk about knitting. So there are 3 things that I've been working on this week. I've not made masses of progress. In fact, I'll save the thing I've made the most progress on to the end. And I'll share the thing I've made the least progress on first. I have cast on the next square for my colour therapy blanket. I've not done much. I've not done much at all. So I shared in last week's episode that I'd finished the green square. So I have cast on the, these are the teal and turquoise set, I think. So this is the set, whoops, that I'm currently working on here. And yeah, I've cast on the first one, which is this little bobbin here. And I've not got very far with it, to be honest, but at least it's cast on, which means that it's now quick and easy to pick up whenever I get 5 minutes. And if you are new and you don't know what I'm talking about, this is the Colour Therapy Club, which is a yarn club by Erin, who is Henny Penny Makes, dropping them everywhere, who is Henny Penny Makes, and she does various options. You can get the club in 5-gram scrappy bobbins, which is what I get. You can also get it in 10-gram and 20-gram, I think. And throughout this year, she's been doing it, and you get a different colour every month. And Erin is a trained colour therapist, so each month you also get a little bit of information about the colour and how it relates to kind of colour therapy and things like that as well. So I'm a little bit behind with knitting up my squares, but I am working now on, I think this is the 5th colour for the year, which is the teals and turquoises. So yeah, that is cast on, but I haven't done a lot. But I'm hoping this week it will be, now it is cast on, it will be a good one to just kind of grab whenever I get 5 minutes, when the kids are watching TV, when I've not got anything too chaotic on. So we will see. The other thing I've put a little bit of progress in this week is, oh, there's lots in this bag. My Woodlands socks. So this is the Woodlands sock set, which is actually one of my colourways. There we go, there it is. It's actually one of my colourways, and it's one of the 70-gram sock sets. So I had 50 grams of this main colour. I don't have the official mini colour, but I did dig out, funnily, I dug out what I thought was a 20-gram mini from my box of random minis in a colour that I thought would work. It doesn't look like it's going to work particularly well on the camera here, but I promise in real life, this is a much more green kind of teal, so I'm pretty sure it's going to work. So I picked this one, I dug this out, and I put it on the Swift to wind it up, and it turned out that it was actually 2 10-gram minis that had been skeined together to look like a 20-gram skein for some unknown reason. But that's fine. I'm not sure. I mean, frankly, I think I'm using it for heels and toes, so it's just a 10-gram mini per sock. It works out as the same amount of yarn, so it's not an issue. But yeah, I think I've got to the point where I'm going to put the heel in. I don't want these to be ridiculously long socks, and because I'm working from a 50-gram skein, I don't want to risk doing it too long and run out of yarn either. Although, to be fair, you can always get a lot longer than you expect with a 50-gram skein. But yeah, this is the leg length I'm going for. Let's stick with that. So this is ready for a heel, which is why it's kind of stalled a little bit, because I need to sit down at some point and I need to do the heel. So I will get that done hopefully this week, and then hopefully I'll be able to start working down the foot of this one. And then the other thing that I've been working on, which is the thing I've put the most progress into this week. Let me tuck these back in their project bag. They're living in a lovely little grey girl project bag with knitting sheep. Where's the knitting sheep? There we go. The other thing I've been working on is also a pair of socks, which is also living in a little grey girl project bag. This was one of the mystery gem ones. I like this size. And that is my other pair of socks, which are my stripy socks. So these are using yarn from Debbie at Down Sheepy Lane. Debbie's not currently dyeing at the moment, but she used to dye some absolutely gorgeous yarn. This is one of her self-striping colourways, which is Toss a Coin to Your Witcher. So it's inspired by, well, I think she was inspired by the Witcher TV series. I've also played the Witcher computer game, and watched the TV series, so it appeals to me on multiple levels. But yeah, this colourway is gorgeous. And as you can see, I've made some decent progress. There is a heel in this sock. Can never get anything. It's all yarn and needle cables and all of that kind of stuff everywhere. There is a heel in this sock. So I've made some decent progress. I'm getting there. I've done about 40 rows of the foot. So I've got another 25 or so to go for it to fit my foot. And then I'll be popping a toe in. So hopefully this sock might get finished this week. And then I just need to be better about casting on the second sock. Like I've got my lichen socks, they need a heel in them. But the tube for the first sock with the toe and cuff and everything on is done. But have I cast on the second one? No, it's just sat there in the bag because there's something about casting on a sock and knitting the rib that doesn't motivate me. And I could do toe up. I know I could do toe up, but I've never quite got the hang of a toe up sock and the toe up cast on. Maybe that can be a challenge for me for next year or something. But yeah, this colourway is making progress, and hopefully I will have a few pairs of socks finished by the end of the year, because I had a little look in my sock box, and so basically, I mean, in my box of socks, throughout the year, when I knit a pair of socks, I put them away in a box, and then I bring them out in December, at the beginning of December, and have fresh socks for December, which I really like. And I did it last year, and I think I might have done it the year before as well. I can't remember. But it was lovely last year. But last year, I had so many socks in the box. I think I've only got like 5 pairs of socks in the box this year. I really haven't been knitting many socks this year. I mean, I know I need to accept and appreciate that we moved house this year. A lot of things meant I didn't have as much knitting time as I normally would have done. And my business has grown this year as well. So I've been working a lot harder on the business front. So I've had a lot less knitting time during the day as well. But yeah, that is not many pairs of socks. I have currently got 3 pairs of socks on the needle. So if I actually get to grips with them and get them finished, I could have maybe 8 pairs of socks by the end of the year. Maybe, we'll see. I will be sharing my box of socks during Vlogmas, because that's one of my traditional things to do, open them up and share them during Vlogmas when I get them out. But maybe these will be in there no, they won't, will they? Realistically, they won't. We'll see. Maybe one of the pairs that's on the needles at the moment will be in there by Vlogmas, or by the time I open the box during Vlogmas. I don't know. If I keep looking down there, by the way, it's because I've got my new camera recording at the same time, just so that I can stick it up. I want to get a feel for if it will record for the same length of time, or whether it shuts itself down or turns itself off halfway through. I want to get a feeling for its focus. I want to get a feeling for the lighting and the audio. Again, I'll talk about it a little bit more detail later on, but yeah, if I do keep looking down there, it's because I'm just checking that the camera is still recording. So we will see. Okay, so that is pretty much all of the knitting that I've been working on this week. I haven't picked up my armour sweater. I have dug out the second skein of the dark green DK yarn, and it is sitting in my office ready to be caked up, but I haven't got around to caking it this week. But I do need to actually get that done, because that's the only reason I've not picked up my armour sweater, is because I want to start alternating the colours. I'm going to use the helical knitting technique, and I want to start alternating the colours, so that, because obviously I'm using hand-dyed yarn, and that's good practice with hand-dyed yarn. But as a result, I haven't picked it up yet. But I did. Last Monday, I had a really quiet day. I had a lot less to do work-wise. I took a bit of a day to have a bit more of a break, and I dug out my spinning. This is going to crinkle. Bear with me. Don't roll off the table. Stay there. Okay. I dug out my spinning. I have got an electric eel nano e-spinner, which I bought back in September. I bought it after Perth Festival of Yarn, when I fell down a little bit of a fibre rabbit hole. And I have finished spinning up my first bobbin on the e-spinner. So here it is. It is definitely a bit wonky and all over the place. It's a very colourful kind of, is it an art bat maybe? I'm not sure. Terminology is not my strong point at the moment. But it is a very, very colourful thing. It's this. This is a random bat of fibre that I got when I was gifted my drop spindle. It is from Spin City UK, and I think it is just a mishmash of lots of different fibres. There's definitely mostly merino in here, but there is also some, I don't know if you can see some of this shiny white stuff, which I don't quite know what that is, but there is some shiny white stuff in there, and there's also quite a lot of stellina in there as well, and then there's just a mix of different colours with the fibre as well. So I basically, what I'm doing, this is just like my little test to get a feel for spinning on the e-spinner, get a hang of it, get used to kind of what I'm doing. So I filled one bobbin with roughly half of what I had, and I'm going to do the same with this and fill a second bobbin, and then I'm going to ply them together, and it's just going to be a really ridiculously colourful yarn. I don't think I'm going to get very much. I'm not sure. I've got no idea how much I'm going to get, basically. I'm imagining that I'll probably only get like 10-20 grams of yarn, something like that. It might be more than that. I really don't know. I haven't got a clue. And I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with the hand spun that I'm creating at the moment, because I know that I'm in no way a good enough spinner to be able to make anything sensible with it. So what I might do is I might do some kind of knitted blanket. I'm tempted to do something like I don't know, what's the one that, I don't know. Anyway, I kind of might just do almost like a jelly roll. That's the new one by Kay Jones, the Bakery Bears, isn't it? So it's a bit like the Northeasterly, but instead it's just rows of straight garter stitch. I might do something like that, but I might do it slightly wider. I don't know quite yet. Anyway, basically, I'm just going to create some kind of crazy blanket, I think, with all of the fibre that I've been spinning, or I don't know. I'm going to see how much I have, and then I'll make a decision as to what I do with it. I'd quite like to have something where I can put aside, when I do spin further, like more things, where I can kind of put aside maybe 10-20 grams or something to add into one project. So I've got like a big blanket that shows my spinning progress. Does that make sense? But I'm not sure. I haven't really thought it through. And I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm enjoying it, and that's the important thing. And I have a bobbin with spun yarn on, which is amazing. I haven't started spinning this second one yet, but I'm hoping I will find time in the next couple of weeks to do that, because I do really enjoy it. So that is all of the stuff that I've been working on this week. I'm going to crinkle again because I want to put this back in the bag. Sorry. There we go, it's out the way. So I don't end up with see more notifications popping up. This is why I need to get my camera sorted. I don't end up with fibre all over me. I've already got bits of stellina. Look, got bits of stellina all over me just from getting that out the bag. There. Can you see those? That is the one problem, isn't it, with fibre? So I was going to talk about Advent. I've touched on it in the last few episodes, my Advent plans. And I don't have any massive Advent plans this year. As I've said before, I've got 3 three proper advent calendars. So I purchased the advent calendar from Hannah at the Corner of Craft, her Chromatic Yarns D&D inspired advent calendar. I also purchased an advent calendar from Laura at Bumbling Yarns, her nerdy advent calendar. And then me and Erin of Henny Penny Makes do an advent swap every year where we swap an advent calendar each. So I have one of hers and she has one of mine. And then I've also taken part in the Lay Family Yarn Advent Swap, where we do little 5 gram minis from your stash and your scraps, because that's always fun. So I'm planning on, I'm definitely going to be making 2 blankets out of the Advent calendars. So firstly, I'm planning on using the 5 gram minis from the Advent Swap to go into some kind of new blanket that's going to be kind of a blanket that I put all of those kind of swaps and stuff into. I haven't decided on the blanket pattern. I want something really mindless. And actually, one thing I am tempted to do, and I'm not sure how well it would work, is to dig out my granny stripe blanket, which has been in use a lot. I turned it into like a small lap bank blanket because I kind of got a bit fed up with it a while back. And of course, the nice thing with crochet is that as long as you're not putting an edging or anything on it, you can just pick it up and add to it. So part of me would be tempted actually to dig that back out again. It's in the blanket basket, it gets used a little bit, but it doesn't get used as much as the bigger blankets. So I'd be tempted actually to dig that out again and maybe carry on with the granny stripe. The other thing I'm tempted to do is to start a corner to corner crochet blanket. I absolutely love the one that Ellie at Craft House Magic has just completed. It's absolutely stunning, and every time I see hers, I've been tempted to do one. And she held yarn double, so she created magic knot balls, and then she held the yarn double with an undyed strand of yarn to create a really cozy corner to corner blanket. So I'm wondering about maybe I could do something like that with all of my swap minis. I think that would be quite fun, and a relatively simple mindless project. I've not done a corner to corner blanket before, but I can find a crochet tutorial online, absolutely no problems for one of those, I know that. So that's a definite possibility. And then with my advent from Erin from Henny Penny Makes, I'm going to make a blanket out of that, because for the last 2 years I've made a blanket out of her advent calendar and I absolutely love it. I love both of the ones that I've made, and I was gifted this book not long ago, 200 crochet blocks for blankets, throws and afghans. And I think what I'm going to do is have a little look through here. You can see it's basically a book with lots and lots of different crochet squares in it. Yeah, there's lots. That's the first page of the chapters. There's another page. Yeah, lots. So I think what I might do is go through here, find some of the plain ones. I don't want ones that use multiple colours. I only want ones that use plain stitches. But I might go through and have a look and see if I can find some that appeal to me in here. Like, I mean, I quite like this kind of thing. And I might pick out 2 different designs from in here, something new, something I've not done before, something that will give me a little bit of a challenge. And I'm going to use those to create the blanket. So what I'll do is, what I did last year is I did 4 squares of each colour. So 4 squares of each day of the advent calendar, and then I alternated them on the row. So days 1 and 2 were row 1, days 2, 3 and 4 were row 2. So I think if I do 2, I'm going to pick 2 crochet square patterns, and I'm going to do 4 blanket squares out of each colour, but I'll do 2 of each pattern, and then I can alternate them in the blanket. So you'll have an alternation in colour, but also an alternation in blanket pattern. Does that make sense? Alternatively, I do 4 in one pattern and 4 in the other pattern. I don't know, but I'm thinking something like, I like kind of the lacy ones, like this kind of thing. something a little bit different. I need to have a little proper look through and choose some, but there's so many in here that I think could work quite well. So I think I might do that. Yeah, that's my plan. And then I've got no idea what I'm going to do with the other 2 advent calendars. I'm going to open them and I'm going to enjoy them, and then at some point I'm going to have a little look and see what I think I might do. I like the idea of knitting a garment or doing like a stripes jumper or something like that, but I don't know whether I would have enough yarn in an advent calendar to do that for me. But then maybe I could supplement it with just 100-gram skein and add that into the stripes. I don't know. I need to have a little think, and I think I need to see the colours for those before I make any firm decisions. Right, let's talk about the camera. I'm going to stop the camera so I can actually show it to you. And then I will talk about it and the issues I'm having and why I'm not recording on it right at the moment. So this is the camera that I decided to purchase. I did quite a bit of research, and this was the camera that was recommended a lot. I've been putting money aside, and it was quite a big purchase for me, which is freaking me out now that I'm having teething problems with it. So this is the camera I got. I got a Canon GX7 Mark III, which is kind of the newest version of it. There's a couple of things. So apparently there's a firmware update that I need to do, which deals with an autofocus problem when you're videoing, which would be quite important to deal with. But the issue I'm having, I love the picture quality and I think it's going to be really good in that respect. But the issue I'm having with it at the moment is the audio. So I think I've been quite spoiled with the audio on my phone, because obviously a phone is designed to record or to certainly process clear audio, because you're talking on it to people, and you need your audio to be clear for that. So the audio on my phone is actually very clear and it's very good. When I tried this out yesterday, just with a few little test runs around the house of me saying silly things to it and putting it in places that I put it in the tea cupboard to see what it would be like. Lighting wise, amazing. My phone struggles horrendously with the lighting when I've got the overhead lights on and I put you in the tea cupboard. This coped with it brilliantly. So the video quality was fantastic. But there is this underlying hissing noise underneath the audio. I've played with the settings and that's what I need to work out, which is why I'm not recording on it today, because I don't want to just record on it and be like, oh, it might have this and it, we'll see. I'd much rather work the issues out before I sit and record on it. So it's got, there's an underlying hissing sound on the audio, which I really don't like. And it's just not clear and crisp like the audio is on my phone. So I have ordered a microphone, because one of the advantages with this camera is it has an external microphone slot, so I can plug in an external microphone. So I've ordered a microphone that attaches to the stand, so that it can be kind of just clipped on, and hopefully that will change the issue, maybe, and we will see. But obviously, distance selling rules, if it doesn't work out for me, I can return it and I can look at possibly a different camera. But hopefully, I really want to get it sorted by Vlogmas, because I really want to be able to record on the new camera for Vlogmas and have, really good picture quality, really good audio quality, and it be worthwhile. But I need to get rid of these teething issues first. I need to work out what's going on with the audio and how I can improve the audio. I'm hoping it's as simple as I get this microphone and I plug the microphone in and that deals with the issue. But it might not be, and if it isn't, then I might need to look at a different camera, which is really frustrating, because when you just spend quite a lot of money on something and you just want it to work, you just want it to turn up and you just want it to work. I was expecting to have to work out issues with like focus and learning like settings and stuff like that, but we changed all the settings last night. We tried all the different things that we could find online about it. It's got all kinds of different wind filters and attenuation stuff, and we changed all of the settings on those, and although we got like a little bit of improvement in this underlying hiss, it was not enough. And then I edited it and I tried to remove the hiss in editing, and I could remove it in editing, but then it makes the rest of the audio sound slightly odd and not not very natural, which I didn't want. So anyway, all that to say, my new camera has arrived. I am excited about it, but there are teething issues and I need to sort them out. And really, I just want somebody to sort it all out for me so that it just works and I can just use it. But we'll see. The microphone is due to arrive today, so hopefully I will be able to have a little play this week. I'll probably record a daily vlog using it and the microphone, but the daily vlog won't go up. It will just be like a little test run for me to check audio and to check all of that kind of thing, which will be quite funny. So that's the new camera. Let's talk about some yarn. So in 2021, I pulled out 6 skeins from my stash. I think I pulled them out during Vlogmas last year. I pulled out 6 skeins from my stash and set them aside on my shelves in my office, and they were going to be that my challenge for the year was to knit those 6 skeins of yarn into socks. Then of course we moved house, and I had to pack those skeins from sitting nicely and beautifully on my shelf in my office. I had to pack them away in a box and they never got brought back out again. I knit, is it 6 skeins or 5 skeins? Oh, I must have missed a skein. Oh, I can't remember what the final skein was. I definitely knit up one of the skeins of yarn into a pair of socks early this year. And the self-striping that I'm currently working on from Down Sheepy Lane is another of the skeins of yarn. And then these 3 were also oh, there is another one. I've just remembered and I didn't dig it out of the box, but I've remembered which one it was. So these 3 were also in that pile for this year. So I've got this lovely skein of Fruitful Fusion in the, is it the Sarah colourway? Absolutely gorgeous. I've got this skein from Chromatic Yarns. This is Hannah's Operation Social Justice colourway, insert class here. And then I've also got this skein from Lizzie at Strawberry Fields Yarns, and this is her Gingham Altar colourway. And again, this is just a really fun, pretty colourway. So these 3 and another colourway, which was a Moods in Colour colourway, which I've not dug out of the stash box. Were destined to become socks this year, and obviously I've not achieved that. I think hopefully by the end of the year I will have knit 2 pairs of socks out of the 6 skeins that I set aside. Not ideal, but I thought I haven't quite set plans in. I'm not very good at planning my knitting. I'm learning that. I've tried to do Make 9 in previous years and failed miserably. And then in 2021, I was like, okay, I'll just pick 6 skeins and they're my knitting goal for the year. And I also failed at that. So I don't quite know what goals to do, but I did dig out there's quite a lot of yarn here. Bear with me a second. Oh, oh, I made the camera jog as well. Sorry about that. I did dig out at least I think this is all of the ones that I got, all of the music from the movies Sock Club by Ellie at Craft House Magic, which I've been purchasing throughout 2021. I'm losing track of the years. Yeah, in fact, I think, yeah, no, I'm like, have I lost track of the years already? Have I been talking about the wrong year all along? I don't know. The last few years just feel like they haven't existed. We were talking about something that happened in 2019, and then we realised that was like 2 years ago that it happened, and it doesn't seem like 5 minutes. The last 2 years just don't feel like they've existed really, do they? Anyway, I dug out all of the colourways that I've purchased. I think I missed a couple, but all of the colourways that I purchased from Craft House Magic this year. So there is this one, which is I Will Always Love You. I'm not going to remember all the movies that they're from because they don't have all the movies on there. But this one was I Will Always Love You. Then there is Everything I Do It For You. The Goonies. Oh, am I wearing... That's quite appropriate. Look, I'm wearing a Goonies t-shirt today. The Goonies. This one is The Never Ending Story. And then there's The Power of Love. 2 Heads Are Better Than One. Take My Breath Away. And I've had the time of my life. So there are, what have I got? 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8. I think there were 9 or 10. So I've only missed 1 or 2. I'm pretty sure that she stopped the club in September. So that would have been 9. And I think I missed the January one. Anyway, my plan is to turn all of these into socks and to have a sock selection of music from the movies socks. Now, I know it's completely unrealistic for me to say that I am going to knit these all into socks in 2022. If I said that, I would probably knit one of them into socks and that wouldn't happen. But I can dream. And my dream would be to knit these into socks. It's not my plan. I'm not planning to get it done in 2022, but my dream would be that these get knit into socks in 2022. And maybe these 3 skeins as well. And maybe half the rest of my stash, because that would be great. It's not going to happen, is it? But yeah, these are one of the things that are top high on my priority to get these knit into some socks. There's a few of them, like this one in particular, that I'd really like to knit into pattern socks. And then there's a couple of others, like this one, which I just think is going to look gorgeous in plain vanilla socks. So I'm going to pick out, and definitely another one for some pattern socks. I'm going to pick out some patterns and have a little think, and they are top priority to hopefully get turned into socks next year. Right, breathe. That's pretty much it for the crafting content. I just had a little bit of shop news to touch on. So only to say that at the weekend I had a shop update. I topped up my discount box section, which is the section of my website where I have discounted yarns. A lot of them are kind of end of line, so it's where I've got kind of one colourway left in a colourway that I'm not planning to repeat. So they tend to go up. There's a few that went up that were imperfect skeins, so just where the dies hadn't taken the way they were supposed to, or I had a couple of skeins where there's a little bit of grey staining where there shouldn't have been because there was some grey left in the pans, stuff like that. And then there's also a load of skeins that I put up as discounted, which was literally when I was dyeing up the Halloween boxes. It took me a while, and the yarns are gorgeous, but they definitely weren't quite what I was planning to do. And because I dyed them specifically kind of with the Halloween, I didn't want to release them as their own colourways because anyway, they're in there in the discount box. There's also a whole load of spares from my clubs throughout the year. They are not discounted because I will be bringing back a lot of the Once Upon a Yarn Club colourways. I'm going to bring back a number of them for a collection next year. So they're not discounted. These are just the spares that I currently have in stock. Yeah, so they're all, there's still quite a nice amount up on the website if you're looking for something. There we go. The other thing I just wanted to touch on quickly before I go is 2022 clubs. I know I've been talking about this quite a lot recently, and if you watched my vlog series, I did a sit down where I talked about my plans in full for the clubs. So I'm going to have 2 yarn clubs running in 2022, similar to this year. So there will be a mini skein club, which is going to be inspired by The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. It's going to be called my Middle Earth Minis Club. And that will be, so that's that one. And then I'm also going to be doing a sock club for the year, which is going to be Beatrix Potter inspired. So each month will be inspired by a different story from Beatrix Potter. And you'll get, you'll have a choice of either 100-gram skeins or sock sets. Somebody asked the other day whether I would be doing 70-gram sock sets in that. Which I might do actually. I need to have a little think about the logistics of it. They would only be available in the merino nylon base because I can get 50-gram merino nylon skeins from my supplier, which means I wouldn't have to split them. Whereas other yarn bases, I might be able to get them, but I then get to the point where I'm having just too many bases that I need to keep ordering back in. So I think what it'll be is you'll be able to get either 100 grams or 120-gram sock set across all of my bases. Which my bases, by the way, I do a merino nylon, I do a merino bamboo, I do a BFL nylon, which is a high twist base, I do a and I do a stellina base, and then I also just do a DK base, which doesn't come as a sock set, it just comes as a DK base. So I think they're the ones I offer. Merino bamboo, yeah, that's right. So they're all available as either 100 gram skeins or 120 gram sock sets. If I do offer the option of a 70 gram sock set, it will only be available in the merino nylon base, and it will only be available as a sock set. Yeah, so I'm thinking I will offer that option. I just need to look into the logistics of it. So the thing I wanted to talk about was shipping for them. So basically, I had quite a few international customers asking questions about whether I would be able to hold it and ship the clubs every quarter to save them on shipping. That is absolutely an option that I am going to offer. I offered that with my Marvelous Mini Clubs this year. So at the beginning of each quarter, a listing goes up for the quarter. So you can buy it each month absolutely normally. You can buy January it'll be the last week of December, first week of January. You can buy January's. February will be last week of January, first week of February. And that will happen all throughout the year. You can buy them individually monthly. So you can pick and choose on, which month you might want to. But I'm also doing a quarterly option. So at the end of December, the listing will go up for the first quarter. So it would be January, February and March's club. And when you go into the listing, you'll have 2 drop-down boxes. The first drop-down box will be your choice of yarn base. The only issue is that you have to have the same yarn base across the whole quarter. But yeah, you choose your yarn base from the drop-down menu. And then the second box will be an option to have it shipped monthly or to have it shipped quarterly. So if you are an international customer and you'd like it shipped quarterly, then that's absolutely fine. You would select that and you'll get charged the cost of the yarn and the cost of the shipping. But it will all go out in one package at the end of March, which will save you on, if you get, especially if you're in Europe, it saves you on handling fees. Obviously, you'll still have to pay your customs tax or whatever it is on the full purchase amount, but you'll only have one handling fee instead of 3 packages and 3 handling fees. So that is absolutely an option. And I'm going to make that option available for both the Middle Earth Minis and the Beatrix Potter Sock Club. They're going to be available for both of those options. If you purchase both clubs, I'm happy to send them in one package, but I'll need to refund excess postage when it comes to shipping them, if that makes sense, because you'll probably end up paying, the way that the listings work and the shipping works, you'll probably end up paying extra postage when you order. And so I will refund any excess postage, but your parcel will be bigger, so it will cost more to post than the individual postages, if that makes sense. So I'd need to sort that out when I come to ship them at the end of March or at the end of the quarter. But absolutely, we'll refund excess postage if that happens. Yeah, I hope that made sense. If you're in the UK and you just want to get your parcel every month, then that option will be there as well, as it has been with the Marvelous Minis. And if you want to order both, then again, that's absolutely fine. I think with the UK shipping, when you order them individually and you order them monthly, it just adds the shipping in the basket as normal. So it doesn't affect, like if you order them both, you don't get charged more postage in the UK because of the way it works. Hopefully. I'm not sure. I need to look at it. I need to sort it out on my website. It's complicated. Anyway, right, I am going to go because I am starting to ramble and I need to go and get some bits and pieces done. But thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. I'm very conscious that I haven't got as much knitting content as I used to have in the podcast. So I'm trying to include other bits and pieces and talk about a few other things, hence going through the yarns this week and hence talking about blankets and stuff last week. So yeah, hopefully you are enjoying what you're seeing. Yeah. And hopefully next week I'll be recording on my new camera with the audio all perfect and it will work really, really nicely and I won't be stressed by it. We'll see. Thank you for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye.